Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted. What the fuck, man?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 18 of the Topless Robot Podcast. My name is Ryan.
My name is Brooks.
I'm scared of Furbies. Also, my name's Tyler.
Dan.
And,
God
yeah.
damn it.
We just listened to the most unwanted song.
Oh my goodness.
And so there may be some references that you may not get unless you have listened to at least 10 minutes of the most unwanted song.
The Topless Robot Podcast challenge is listen to that whole song at a party
While blindfolded.
Yeah, I get what they were going for, but I actually don't think that's the worst song I've ever
I've heard much
absolutely
worse
not.
songs.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Most country songs are worse than that. So.
Well, and the thing is, the country sections were Western sections. They weren't country sections. And opera and banjo. It's like they picked out instruments that they picked, like, must have searched Google for the most instances of expressions of hatred for an instrument, and then just like went down the list.
Is it
Children singing, Western, opera,
advertisements,
banjo,
bagpipes.
And that's something that always cracks me up. I mean, maybe it's the blood of my people coursing through my veins, but I actually think the bagpipes are sick.
I think bagpipes are awesome. I grew up with bagpipes. My grandpa used to play bagpipes.
I feel like they're the butt of every joke when someone's just like, "This is the worst instrument ever. The bagpipes are so obnoxious." Like,
No,
they're actually pretty cool.
What would be the worst
bagpipes are one of those
instrument ever, in your
instruments
opinion?
like banjo that you don't tell people you can play until you can play really good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that
It's
is
easy
true.
to suck at playing the bagpipes.
Yes. My grandfather used to we used to ride forth into battle in his little Volvo hatchback with this bagpipe tape, and we'd venture forth into town to go to Kmart and the Hostess bread discount.
But do all your shopping at Walmart.
I'm good.
I would have laughed if you knocked that over. At Walmart.
At Walmart.
Only thing that could have made that better, Brooks, is if you guys had a claymore in the car and one of you was just holding it aloft.
Into battle.
I feel like a claymore
Brooks
was
is in a
longer
freaking
than
kill.
the car.
It might have been. Yeah.
You're just like trailing it behind you then.
So with things that happened this week, the new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe released on Switch.
Ooh, have you played it yet?
Yeah, I've played a bit. I mean, it's the Super Mario World format,
But it plays
and
a
it
lot
came out
like
on the
the
Wii
last
U.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
It's like
Do
every
you
once in a
jump
while.
and break blocks and platform?
You mean the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom?
Do you hold down a button to run faster and obtain power-ups to defeat an enemy that will never die?
The difference being that this is where Peach or Bowserette or whatever.
Bowsette.
Bowsette
Come
came
on,
from.
know your memes,
noob.
Oh.
The thing that just dominated the internet for a
24
day.
hours.
Yeah.
You're like invoking the name of an old god. I need you to stop.
Just all of a
give it
sudden,
more
all of a
power.
sudden
Don't say its name, it'll
all of a
notice
sudden
us.
the fabric of reality tears open. And it's
I am
just
Sauron,
Bowsette.
so look down upon us.
It's just Bowsette.
Belief emboldens both things evil and good alike, Ryan.
Have you watched American Gods?
No, I still
it's
actually haven't finished.
It's American Gosh in this household.
But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. You know, like Nintendo will do these beelines from the main Mario formula every once in a while, like with Galaxy and with Odyssey and stuff like
And
that.
with the Rabbids.
which are a ton of what?
Mario and Rabbids.
Well, Mario and Rabbids, sure.
The XCOM Junior.
But that's not technically, that's not a Nintendo.
XCOM Weenie Hut Jr.
That's not a Nintendo property. That's not Nintendo made. That is Ubisoft made.
Yeah, but Mario is still there.
Yeah, they
wild that
licensed.
you think.
Amazing that they licensed out their characters.
I think
for
I am
that game.
shocked that they
And
did that.
I can't believe they did it
it
either.
turned out to be an awesome game. It was
Yeah.
a great game.
That's what I heard. I haven't actually played it, and like I'm not a huge XCOM guy because, like, it's not that I don't like the idea of XCOM. I just don't have the patience.
So I like those games in theory, and I loved the old XCOM games when they were first coming out. But again, my patience kind of ended up wearing on that stuff.
I'd rather play
but
faster
Mario and Rabbids is a little bit more of a faster paced version of that formula, and the way that they execute it is very, very good.
Honestly, if you can find a way to trick kids into playing other cool games like XCOM by putting other things they like on top of it, then by all means, keep doing it.
For sure.
But yeah, it's I thought
that's what Mighty Number 9 was, right?
Stop.
And as I recall,
didn't we just talk about invoking the names of elder gods?
You don't say those words.
But as I recall, Starlink was also one of those instances where like they developed the game with Fox and Cloud in it before asking for permission.
Did they really? I thought they asked for. They would have. I feel like they would have had to ask.
If you just keep it on the hush hush.
I think
I've been
developed it
DeviantArt,
to then show to them, be like, hey, we want to do this. Are you okay with it?
Okay.
And that could be total rumor, whatever. I'm probably.
I feel like that would be a lot of development work on the off chance, which
not necessarily. You're throwing in skins and
exactly.
You know, like the heavy lifting is the engine and mechanics and stuff.
And they're allowed to do that until they sell it for money. Like you have to have the licensing to sell it, but you can just make demo products with whatever you want.
I understand that. It's more just that what if they went to Nintendo, they put all this man hour effort into it, and Nintendo's like, fuck you.
Right.
That is something Nintendo would do. Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely.
Nintendo has done that more often than not, which is why it's absolutely incredible that Mario and Rabbids actually happened.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for them to for somebody to make a Qbert reboot in the Unreal Engine.
That would actually...
But it has to be first-person action.
It's like super realistic.
I would bet that it's been made, and I would love to see a return of Qbert.
Qbert would be cool.
Well, they released a couple of years ago played that one. Like an update, I guess, of sorts for it. And I mean, Qbert's whatever. It's that isometric jumping around platforming thing. But I played the newer version of it, and it sucked. Okay. Only because it's the same game, but made dumber with... It's like they enjoyed the Qbert Saturday morning cartoon.
Sure.
Oh, I forgot that thing was a thing that existed.
I didn't know it existed, but I'm not surprised to find out.
Because you're a child who wandered into an adult's conversation, Dan!
I'm sorry, how much older than me are you? Like 4 years old?
9,000!
It's over 9,000!
Brooks is eternal!
So,
Brooks was there before you were born, and he'll be there long after you die.
on the topic of Nintendo and other things that happened this week, the internet lost their collective shit by sensationalized headlines suggesting that Nintendo is done with consoles.
They've been asking this question for
Nintendo apparently they made a statement recently that a lot of people decided to turn into clickbaity headlines saying Nintendo's done with consoles.
Shocker.
When really all the quote was, and let me see if I can actually find it. They're like, we're always open to other options. And we're always thinking about the future. We're always thinking ahead.
I think it's right up at the top.
And was it?
If you scroll up, they had a quote from Furukawa.
At the moment, we're offering the uniquely developed Nintendo Switch and its software, and that's what we're basing how we deliver the Nintendo experience on. That being said, technology changes. We'll continue to think flexibly about how to deliver that experience as time goes on. So
that's the most Nintendo answer ever.
And that makes sense. Like, they have started putting out mobile games that have been doing very well. But you're a grade A fucking moron if you think that Nintendo's gonna say we're done with consoles after they just blew everyone, including everything they've ever done, out of the water with the Switch.
Yeah, it's literally, I don't know if you saw the news, it's the fastest selling console of this generation, even though it's kind of
Wii U my uncle that works for Nintendo says that
but I mean, seriously, they are taking a very Nintendo approach to the future, as you might fucking expect from them. They started out as a playing card company, like it's
thousands of years ago, before the dawn of man, there was Nintendo playing cards.
But they
didn't have AR formatting
like 1800s, something like that.
Something
when
like
they
that.
started. They were old as time.
Very old
They've been
company,
around,
yeah. What was it like?
Tale as old as time.
Hanafuda?
No.
Was that what it was called? Those were the cards?
I can't remember.
I think it was called Hanafuda.
But I mean, they're a company that is always forward-thinking with regard to, trying to either set trends or keep up with them, and they do what's necessary in order for the company to thrive. They're still, to this day, the only console manufacturer that sells at a profit from day one. PlayStation, Sony, and Microsoft sell their consoles at a loss for at least the first year of the lifespan of their new hardware. And Nintendo has always sold at a profit and still stayed competitive with regard to pricing and things like that. So it's, The internet lost their shit. I saw nothing but headline after headline saying, Nintendo done with consoles? ? The answer is no. I've saved you
lies.
/r/saved you a click. The answer is no.
They're not done.
Filthy lies spread by capitalist propaganda.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, I can attest to how much I really want to, like, when the Switch first came out, I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's whatever. Didn't really care because I saw the Wii U and it wasn't really my thing. And so, but now, like over the last year, I've changed my mind, and I really want one.
It's really good.
It's great.
Just the ability to.
I want to be able to play
the ability
Legend of
to take
Zelda
a
like
poop
poop.
and play Zelda is just the best thing in the world. Like, especially if it's one of those really long poops, and you're just like, well, you know what I need for this?
Legend of Zelda, Poop of the Wild.
Breath of the anus.
We here at Topless Robot bring you the classiest material.
We are dedicated to a higher form
Are
of
you
comedy.
high, Dan? Because we
That
definitely
said,
don't.
I am now officially declaring the end of the podcast. It is dead.
Dan, I don't think you
Vaporwave
have that
is
power.
dead.
I'd like to see you try, Dan.
But no, there's a ton of great games available for Switch, and they're the amount that they've been indie friendly, and it just creates all these experiences that you can take with you on the go, and it's fucking great. I absolutely love it. The only complaint that I have is I wish that there were more multiplayer games from Switch to Switch. There are a lot of multiplayer games that support, using the Joy-Cons as 2-player or whatever.
Oh, like
I want
couch.
more network play, network
Yeah.
co-op between two Switches.
They're actually sort of doing that with the older Nintendo games that they're re-releasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
is so
think that's
cool.
awesome, and the way that they manage that is really good.
Yeah, pretty much how it works, right? Like if you're playing Mario and you're doing 2-player, once someone dies, the player who has the second console just starts playing theirs, and it goes back and forth.
That I'm not sure. What I do know is that it's not tied to the game; it's tied to the platform, to the thing. So, like, essentially, that game list is the lobby. So you can seamlessly, when you're playing multiplayer in the classics, just decide, I'm done playing ice hockey. Let's play something else. And you don't lose a connection. There's nothing. They stay right there with you as you jump into whatever the next game's going to be.
And I remember now that is how it works. I watched people play Mario 3, and the person who isn't playing and waiting for their turn on their Switch can actually fuck with the other person by tapping the screen and like making little, I don't know, just...
Well, so you can cheer.
Yeah.
And you can do applause and stuff like that
Right.
by tapping on the screen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for sure, when you die, like you lose control, and then the other person starts playing on their Switch. That's a really cool concept. I like
that a
it.
lot.
Yeah.
Mario, they made a third Mario game? What are you talking about?
I didn't know they made so many.
Seemed like a one and done.
Didn't think that one was going to last. I mean, who the fuck's going to play a game about an Italian plumber?
Right? I mean, come on. Seems super unrealistic.
It's like making a game about like an ape that throws barrels at people, or
It's just one of those
thing
80s fads.
a pink thing that eats other things.
And then
Or a yellow thing that
absorbs
eats other
the power.
things.
Heaven forbid some kind of Starship Troopers knockoff on a Ringworld knockoff.
Oh, God.
Calling him out. Oh man.
So, since, we're talking Nintendo, other very cool news. The Humble Store has started selling Nintendo Switch and 3DS games.
Fuck yeah. All right.
That's
all
kinda
right.
really-
all right.
I'm
Yeah.
super
All
on
right.
board with this.
Yeah. That
But-
that did it for me.
Only selling Nintendo-made ones for now, from what I can see.
That's okay.
I mean, honestly, that works for me because like I just got my 3DS. I'm late to the party all the time, but you know it's fashionable to be late to the party, right? And I've been playing Pokemon all week because that's been fun. But I've been wanting to acquire more titles, and I like the fact that I don't have to go buy a cart every time. Because sometimes it's hard to track down the games that I want. Because I don't want to order them online. Because I want them now. Because I want them now. And so I'll drive to some GameStop like in the middle of nowhere and pick up a game. I did that like twice in the last month.
Yeah, patience is not a thing that I have a lot of. I do the same thing a lot.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing you're not a doctor, then.
Patience.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
You know, I should have taken your lead on ending the podcast earlier because
I tried.
we wouldn't have gotten
Don't
to
say
that
you
point.
weren't given the opportunity. You were. I tried to give us all mercy. I tried to spare us.
That was a mercy kill right there. That was an attempted mercy kill.
And like a fool, you chose to keep on living.
You know,
we broke our knee. We weren't ready to go and horse races anymore, and he was trying to put us out in the misery. He was trying to take us out behind the woodshed, but we didn't let him.
We did not.
Fools.
But yeah, I thought it was really cool to see Humble pick up those titles. They're not discounted or anything, and I'm sure that there are probably more strict limitations. Like, for example, we don't get, I think, so if someone uses our partner link, toplessrobot.com/humble, and buys a Nintendo game, I'm doing my part.
What was that link, Ryan? I have not heard of this before.
You mean toplessrobot.com/humble?
You know what we should do is I got this decoder ring.
Yeah.
And we should have a special message for all those people.
Be sure to drink your toplessrobots.com/humble.
Yes.
How would one drink that? Is what I'm wondering.
know.
Metaphysically, you plebs.
But I think we get a smaller percentage if people buy Nintendo games, and you know they're all
I will have
pretty
to
much full price.
that,
but I did get a $5 discount once they introduced it. I think for being a Humble monthly subscriber.
Ooh.
Oh, tight.
So
just one $5 discount.
Just one $5 discount. So I ended up using it on Mario Tennis Aces because that's the only one that I hadn't.
I
want to
play Mario. Have you played it yet?
I played it. It's okay.
I like Mario Tennis.
It's the Nintendo title that I'm least excited about. So
I love Nintendo sports games like Mario
They're
Tennis,
fun,
Super
sure.
Mario All Stars Baseball, and the GameCube was just
Tennis
phenomenal.
They're fun. I mean, it's
If you like sports games,
Mario
Yeah.
1015.
I have enjoyed it, but contrary to other similar titles, I have had no problem just setting it down. I play a match and I'm like, okay, I don't need to really keep playing this.
I think the next Nintendo title that I'm going to explore, doing my part, on the 3DS is I'm probably going to get that Metroid game, Samus Returns.
It is outstanding.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good
It
things.
is outstanding.
And like, I eventually am going to pick up the Star Fox 64 thing.
do it.
For
It's
because
so good.
I did like Star Fox 64 back in the day. But I'm getting my itch scratched playing this, bouncing between Phoenix Wright and Pokemon because I love both of those things.
Yeah.
If you are looking to buy a Metroid game, I get on this horse every time I hear about Metroidvanias. If you haven't played Axiom Verge, buy it, play
Yes.
it. That game,
Absolutely.
You're not the first person to recommend that to me.
that game has been out for quite a few years now. I was
that long. Only a year and a half, 2 years tops.
No, it's
Well,
gotta
last
be-
year
I think
was
it's
like
longer than
3
that.
years
Oh,
long.
really?
So I'm pretty sure because it came out. I mean, Jasmine and I have been together for 3 years. It came out well after Jasmine and I had already started dating. So
Okay. I feel like it was on Steam for a long time, but perception of time is foolish. It's so great. This game is awesome. I actually enjoy it more than any Metroid game I've played.
yeah, initial release date March 31st, 2015.
Yeah, nerd.
Oh, okay. So I guess that is a few years old.
Yeah, I was about to say it's older
So
than you
it-
just
it's
said,
Ryan.
mister.
I was wrong. I am sorry.
Wait. Can we get that? Can we hear that again? What
Run
was
that back for me.
What was that?
Run it back.
Ryan?
I was wrong. I am sorry.
You should eat a donut while you say it, so that way you don't actually.
Shivers. It feels so good to hear it and say it.
Speaking of the Vania part of Metroidvania, have you guys played Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon yet?
I
have played the the extra NES style.
Yeah,
game
that's what Curse of the Moon is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the name
Bloodstained is not out yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Bloodstained is gonna be more like Symphony of the Night, and this is kind of like hey guys, thanks for being patient.
Ritual of the Night is the
Ritual of the Night.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Curse of the Moon is the little NES title.
I love that.
They did a great job with that.
The soundtrack rocks.
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to enjoy playing the full game when it comes out, but I don't like the aesthetic of it.
Of the full game or of the
full
Curse of the Moon?
The full game.
Okay.
The one that isn't out yet. Every bit of demo footage I've seen, I really just don't enjoy the way it looks. Maybe it's something about the 2.5D sort of thing with 3D models on a 2D plane. I just don't like the way it looks. And the way they've animated the character portraits while they're talking is completely unnecessary, and it looks bad.
Looks bad?
The character portraits get animated in this way where they're just like tweaking the model while they're standing still to make it look like they're breathing or idling. It looks bad. It looks really bad.
See, now I'm wondering what I'm looking at here. This must be original concept stuff. Yeah, this is concept art. So this is very different than what we're ending up getting here.
Yeah.
With that 2.5D. But what I do like is it's a cel-shaded 2.5D, so it does have a hard line, cartoony kind of look.
Oh, I do love me some cell shading in general, though.
Yeah, me as well.
Like, you guys ever played Tokyo Beatdown on the DS?
I never played Tokyo Beatdown.
Oh my god!
I think my introduction to cel shading was Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, I think that was everyone's.
Jet Set Radio.
Or I should say most people's.
Yeah.
As far as games are concerned,
my introduction to cel shading was actually
that and like Auto Modelista. I remember that being
Zelda Wind Waker.
Oh God, Wind Waker. I loved Wind Waker.
I loved it. It's
I remember
actually
people
still
being
my favorite
so
Zelda
mad
game.
about it when it came out. They're like, "Not my Zelda."
Hashtag not my Zelda.
Wind Waka Flocka Flame as it's known.
And actually, it wouldn't have been hashtag not my Zelda because Twitter didn't
pre-Twitter.
exist then.
Yeah.
That was pre-Twitter, 2003.
That sounds
out?
accurate.
We just had twits.
And
That was pre-Facebook.
Hold on.
That was pre
but-
most
and it
current
had a
social
great-
media.
had a great. Well, that was the MySpace days. I
said current.
Had the DS link. MySpace is still around.
Yeah, I know.
Barely.
But yeah, it had the way too underutilized Game Boy Connect to the GameCube.
I love that.
Crystal Chronicles and Zelda Four Swords.
They did
fucking
that.
love stuff.
That was a thing, and I really wish that they kept doing that.
Me too.
But now we have the Switch, and so now the
led
Switch
to
is your Game Boy.
My favorite party game of the time.
Sonic Shuffle.
Pac-Man Versus.
Oh
actually never played Pac-Man
yeah.
So Pac-Man Versus, the person who's Pac-Man
Versus.
is playing on the Game Boy and has the classic Pac-Man view of the traditional top-down full board, and then the other three players are playing off the TV screen in circles, and so they can only have a limited view around them, and they have to communicate to each other when they encounter Pac-Man in order to coordinate and strategize to take down Pac-Man.
So are you all ghosts then?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So everyone's
Spoilers.
one person's Pac-Man's fucking great.
That's interesting. That's actually it's like a very early version of what they did with the Wii U with all of the Nintendo Land stuff.
Yes,
Did you ever?
yeah.
It sounds like really
Nintendo
similar.
Land was a blast.
I
Nintendo Land
fucking
was so much
loved
fun.
Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
I've put so many hours into playing like
I heard Nintendo
the
World was
Luigi's
better.
Mansion.
I spent too much time on the Donkey Kong egg
Yeah. I used to have like little hangouts at my house, and we'd just play the Mario tag game.
course. Yeah.
That one was so much fun, and the ability, like the 5-player dynamic was so cool. Like
Yeah.
it's so interesting.
It was a lot of fun. They did a real good job with those. If it's one thing that they definitely tend to do well, it's those kind of like those couch fun,
co-op!
Yeah.
fucking hang out with your friends, grab a bottle of Shasta, fucking
For a second, when you were talking about it led to my favorite Pac-Man party game, I thought you were going to say Pac-Man Fever.
Oh God,
Pac-Man fever.
no.
I love once another episode in which I get to talk about Wreck-It Ralph. I love that. So Buckner and Garcia is the name of the guys that wrote Pac-Man Fever. They got them to write the Wreck-It Ralph theme song.
Really?
So because like I got it into more arcade stuff. I should say I've always been an arcade guy, but as far as like history and following things, shut up.
Jeez.
Don't hurt my feelings like that.
Where are your books so I can knock them out of your
So
hands?
I became aware of this after the fact because I remember going to see that movie. That was like I think one of the last movies I went to go see at midnight intentionally. And the theme song, I was like, oh, this is kind of catchy. It reminds me of something, but I don't know what. And then years later, I look at the credits, and I'm like, holy shit, it's the same guys who wrote Pac-Man Fever. I hate that song.
Pac-Man
Fever.
I was at like Walmart or something the other day, and you know how they do those little arcade cabinets that are like, oh, it's Space Invaders and it's a fully functional arcade cabinet, but it's
tiny ones.
maybe a foot high tops or some shit. They've got one for Fix It Felix Jr.
No way.
Yeah, I want one of those.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah,
I
it's really
need
neat.
it.
It's really neat.
I actually saw
haven't seen
some
this yet.
advertisement for a fully functioning like action figure sized arcade machine that runs Street Fighter 2.
That would be great to have Street
Yeah.
Fighter characters playing.
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
That would be so
well,
rad.
my issue with it is it's not a complete. Like it looks like the cabinet, except that it's got one set of sticks. It has a stick and 6 buttons.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So it's a one-player cabinet.
yeah.
Who doesn't want to play Street Fighter 2 by themselves?
Yeah. Just imagine having Ryu there.
One
Ken
is
comes
the
up, quarter up.
loneliest number that you ever do.
No. 2 can be just as bad as 1.
But the loneliest number is the number one.
You win.
Hey!
It's time to stop.
Keep on singing
So-
songs just to piss Dan
So
off.
what else
Yeah,
have you guys been doing this week besides sleeping, pooping, and going to work?
Mostly sleeping
that.
and pooping.
I went to a bachelor party on Friday.
Oh! Let's get wild.
Was it a small batch or was it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was actually...
Wasn't super wild, but it was fun to watch people who I haven't seen in the same room since high school
So last year.
get way
I'm kidding.
get way too drunk while I remained relatively sober.
Sounds like you were doing it wrong.
You know that your party is great when after you've been out drinking all night, you go back to the hotel and 2 of your friends are passing a 1.5 liter bottle of barefoot Pinot Grigio back and forth.
That sounds like a night.
Did you guys watch Fried Green Tomatoes or Mexican Magnolias?
or the Traveling Pants movie, whatever.
Follow up. No, are your
The Sisterhood
friends
of
a
the
bunch of
Traveling
40-year-old moms that drive vans?
Man,
You see, I can't-
it felt that way. I played it smart, and I was at least just drinking beer cans.
Wait, I know. You guys watched the Britney Spears movie Crossroads.
Actually, no, we watched several seasons of That's So Raven.
Actually, why wasn't I invited? I'd been okay with that.
You see, I would
Barefoot Pinot Grigio and That's So Raven? Sign me up.
I would have pegged this little soiree as more of a Mamma Mia 2 kind of thing.
The soundtrack of the night was ABBA.
Hey, you watch your mouth. ABBA's fucking rad.
Oh,
ABBA,
no.
Abath, same thing, right?
Oh yeah, very, 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 very close.
Oh my God! There
Abato,
needs to
Abato.
be a death metal band that takes ABBA and incorporates
Fun fact, I already found that.
Incorporated.
Yeah, I was
That's
about to
another.
say.
That's
and
another
just
good.
does
It's
ABBA
not
covers.
good. It's not good.
Oh.
That is one thing. As somebody who
Are they called
listens-
Black Abbott?
No.
As somebody who listens to a shitload
Put the
of
box
metal,
on your head.
I hate how many like crossover genre covers that metal bands like to do.
Really, you don't like the black metal cover of Friday?
No, it's become so overdone that it's trite. It stopped entertaining me years ago. I don't get it. Sometimes it is funny, but most of the time I feel like
juxtaposition.
but
I know what you mean.
Bands have started doing it now just because that's a quick way to generate buzz because your own music isn't that good.
Well, I know a couple of bands that I like that will throw it in as a bonus track, like Insufferum threw in like a cover of Rawhide for some reason.
That's different.
And that's fun.
Bands put out singles, though, on YouTube. Like, this is our next big thing. We covered Lady Gaga with death metal vocals. And that gets more views than anything else they'll ever do.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how Disturbed operates completely.
Sound
Yeah.
subscribers.
Maybe it's just because I'm an old curmudgeon at heart, but I don't think things that are that whimsical are very entertaining.
That was pretty whimsical.
Yeah,
You seemed entertained.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
You know, sometimes you just need to let the whimsy flow right through you. And other times you need to skip past that terrible metal video.
I'm not
because
very
it's
good at that. If you haven't picked it up, I'm a pretty rigid guy.
Well, Ruffles has ridges.
Fuck.
You're so quippy today, Brooks.
Damn.
You know, I took my medicine.
Oh my god. And by medicine he means meth, everybody. Meth. He means methicin.
Whatever he's putting in these crawlers.
Oh, that was definitely meth.
Yeah, it was absolutely meth.
Awesome.
Meth patches are our podcast go-go juice. That's what
Coming to a store near you.
Patches. The Topless Robot Meth Patch.
You know, it's great for getting past TSA when you're getting on a plane.
Woo! It's like nicotine patches, except you might have a heart attack.
That's actually nicotine patches as
Yeah,
well.
that actually
Yeah.
came out too.
I've never done the patch.
I did when I was young.
Did you wear it on your
My
forehead?
parents were trying to get me to quit smoking.
When you were young.
I never smoke cigarettes because I'm a clean boy.
Dirty, filthy clean boy.
Okay, I'm uncomfortable having that coming into the headphones right there.
Dirty. I'm trying to think of weird stuff that I did this week, though.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Seriously,
you should stop it. So one of my campaigns in D&D were retooling from 3.5 to 5e, and that's weird. Not because I have any issues with 5e beyond just old guy complaints, but just having to translate a character sheet over feels weird to me.
Yeah, and that is not an easy transfer.
Yeah, that's a jump.
I'm already irritated because my character, or say so I'm playing a ninja in this particular campaign.
Loser.
You know what? Sometimes we just got to be cool. And
All
right.
ninjas are cool and all right. But I already had to go off of like a build anyways, and so now I have to go off of another build.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been kind of obnoxious. But we just added this guy who's playing a half-orc professional wrestler, like in our world, and it's like it's not bad. Like it's an element, a bit of character flavoring that makes it super fun. Because I played with this guy for a long time, and so he's not a murder hobo like we've discussed.
Does he keep kayfabe? Is he?
You know, he doesn't wear a mask, and since there aren't any other wrestlers, I guess kayfabe is whatever you want it to be.
But I mean, whenever he talks, let me tell you something.
No, he's more like George the Animal Steel.
Okay.
Well, he's just this dumb-ish half-orc professional wrestler that's wearing like a Speedo and like stuff, and just pile driving orcs. It's
Sounds
awesome.
fantastic.
It's
now
awesome.
I have to ask you,
There's a time and a place for fun builds.
Yeah, and I mean he's kind of hopping in as, so he has a perennial character named Blarg.
Okay.
That's a half orc that like he'll just like join a campaign for a few weeks, and he'll bring Blarg to the table, and it always makes it fun because we play with a couple of very serious people at our table.
Now, serious as in no
XM
nonsense,
radio? No.
or are they just, or do they?
Well, it's like so in this particular campaign, we're playing with a lot of, so we have three first timers, and they've been playing for a little while now, so I can't call them rookies, but they're still working through getting comfortable, I guess.
You have to be very patient.
Oh, I'm very patient, and I refuse to metagame. And so someone will try to convince me to go along with a plan, and I'll be like, my character has no motivation for that. Like, what? I don't care.
Talk to me about it in character.
Yeah, it's like, convince me.
Yeah.
Who you've maybe spoken 3 words to since I joined, in character, because my ninja doesn't say shit.
Do you do accents? Do you get into it?
I don't do the accents. I have guest starred as like an NPC a couple of times. Like, so we have a paladin. My buddy Danny's playing a paladin, and he worships Phallatros, the god of fuck.
Phallatros is a good name for that.
The god of fuck, and so he draws strength from sex, and he gets like a hard on when evil's around.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's
Did you
rad.
name? Do you name your dick Sting?
How
instance?
how does that mechanic work?
Well,
It just works.
anytime there's a paladin, they can use detect evil at will. I guess the way he detects evil is with his dick.
And
it's basically like Sting in Lord of the Rings.
His character name is Dick
his sword
Flair.
turns blue.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But his dick gets hard. It's the same thing.
This gets me on the tangent of funny D&D character names. Does anybody have any?
Oh, I have the best. I played a halfling bard for a long time called Shia LaBard.
Okay.
Yes.
And another one called Javier Bardem.
I have a friend who chronically plays shitposts, so all of his characters are just jokes. He's played Flex Barleyhammer, Chad Valier the Cavalier.
Oh yes.
He just never stops with these. He had a gnome sorcerer named Chadarius Bradenbaum. It was 6 names. It never stops. And he made me want to stop playing one time when he actually ran into the middle of melee combat as a gnome sorcerer. And he jumps in and says, "You can't handle my Chadori," and he uses shocking hands on an orc.
Oh man.
He cannot stop. I love playing with him, but there's no cutting on it. Mm-hmm. Whenever he's playing, it's jokes.
Mm. Dick Flair. Dick Flair is a nice balance because so he's a first time player, and so he ended up on one of the campaigns getting a shield cape to go. So he's got this ridiculous cape. He asked specifically for an Excalibur type weapon for fulfilling X amount of conditions.
Talking like a sentient weapon or
no, like
just something stupid powerful.
Something stupid powerful. It's like its damage is like 1d20. Yeah, it's nuts. He calls it triple Excalibur.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That is
and
pretty good.
he's great. He's awesome, and he smites evil. But I have voiced a couple of NPCs that he's tried to screw, to get cheaper passage, like on a ship. I played the sea captain. And
That's the
stuff
best
like
way
that.
to do it. You have to make it uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Too many players are so willing to go out in the world and just try to fuck their way through everything. I get so it's just as bad as murder hoboing is the people who go around and try and seduce everything
man,
that
I
moves.
hate that.
Every obstacle is just something to try and hit that diplomacy roll and get it going. You have to make them uncomfortable by making them actually voice out what it is they're trying to do.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is to get one of your male friends and just have them really ham it up. Because
I talk like a pirate like this.
they always back down. They will always back
Oh
down.
no, he didn't. He didn't. He was just right there, and it was awesome because it's been fun playing with these guys because I have my other group and they're fun as well. That's the group that I was playing Shia LaBeouf with. That I'm currently playing some wizard that I'm have to say goodbye to soon at some point.
Wizards are the best.
Wizards are pretty cool.
I'm a
All right.
rogue in mine right now.
But yeah, so Dungeons and Dragons was cool. Sweet.
Yeah, I haven't played enough campaigns to have the opportunity to do, a jokey, memorable
Yeah, I don't really
character.
either.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of any of the names of, some of my previous characters or anything like that. The most notable experience I had was I was in my first real big campaign was with a bunch of min-maxers, and
I hate munchkins.
I was, I was in it to role play, and I when it came time for
I have the Dark Necromancer shrimp cocktail.
it came time for the
Shrimp scampi.
the big motivation for the group to go on the grand adventure, and my character was basically like I see no reason to
Yeah.
follow you, because my character was driven specifically by a desire to find his dad. And these other characters were like, we're going to save the world. This is the thing. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, this is not the thing that I care about.
Currently,
I like to just imagine that you keep creating characters that have like motivations that are beyond the story that the DM's are trying to create. So you just never finish a campaign because every time you get to the point, you're like, never mind. And
you
just-
found the
and just
skull of
peace
your
out.
father adorned as a codpiece on the final boss.
No,
That is a joint effort thing that players and the DMs need to be better at. I have often had that experience where I have a player who just doesn't give a shit about what's going on, and I do agree that there is some responsibility on the DM to absolutely set up situations that keep you interested.
Yeah.
But also, part of agreeing to play in a group means that in the session 0, people need to actually bring things together that before they start playing their characters gives them motivation to cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's too often that people don't do that, and it breaks a lot of campaigns.
That's
Yeah.
what I really like
I mean-
in my campaign right now. Our DM, like basically we all had to come up with our backstory and everything and submitted it to him. And he went through and basically incorporated like side quests that kept our characters interested because like my character, basically my girlfriend died in my arms, and I was looking for her murderer, and it was an assassin.
Classic.
And they brought in
But
they brought that in
and-
as part of our campaign, and like it would like characters would run into me that they're like, hey, it's you, and I was like, oh shit, and then like we'd go off on a little side tangent, and it would keep my character's motivation on point, which was a lot of fun. It was really cool.
I mean, in my instance, the reason the GM didn't have to think about motivation too much because most of the other players were min-maxers, and they were more interested in playing the game than they
actually
were
role-playing.
role-playing.
So they're boring.
And
so they're not
it
playing the
was-
game. They're
yeah.
playing part of
all
playing
they
the
needed
minigame.
was, all right, here's the adventure. And my character was like, hold on.
Well, if everyone at the table is into that, then that can be fun. But when because I'm the same way, I enjoy the out of combat aspects of the game.
I would
almost as
rather
much,
do the collective
or
storytelling.
even more.
I actually
Yeah, it's more
enjoy it.
fun.
I enjoy it more than the combat. Combat's fun, and it's a great breakup to the RP on times. But I much prefer just role playing through a town. And
I have tried to create, so every character that I've built in the last couple of years, I've always left a little room to insert some kind of personal side stuff. And this particular ninja, so my ninja's name is Goemon. Not to be confused with any Digimon characters, because I've gotten like 3 or 4 like, oh, is that a Digimon?
But that's not a Digimon. That's an actual
champion.
character.
Yeah, that's thank you. I'm glad.
That's an actual character.
Yes! Lupin the
Mystical
Third.
Ninja Goemon. It's an actual N64 character.
Well, Goemon's,
And a Lupin character.
Goemon's just one of those cool guy ninja names.
Yeah.
But I left a little room for backstory with a cool facial scar and why do I speak Infernal?
Yeah.
I should say, why can't I speak Infernal? And I've left that open. So if my DM is listening right now, Which I don't know if he does, but I
do
will
something.
make sure
Do
he
something.
does.
By the way, yeah,
Add some cool Oni shit.
you absolutely can have a campaign if everyone's just down to fight stuff all the time. That can be the theme. But again,
It needs to be agreed upon that that's going to be the thing beforehand.
to re-stress the importance of Session 0, if you play any sort of tabletop RPG, always do a Session 0
Session
and
0 is my
set
favorite.
everybody's expectations. That's how you know what the fuck people want to do. Let's say you make sure your campaign is fun. It's hard enough to make a
Well-
campaign fun without the input of your players.
Set, or more importantly, get the expectations.
Yeah.
Because the expectations are kind of a group, dictation as opposed to like just a, I think, and while I'm definitely speaking from inexperience here, I think that a campaign that is wholly dictated by the GM, by the DM is destined to fail. Like that, if it's just, look, guys, this is how it is, and that's that.
That is the biggest taboo of being a DM. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You do not railroad your players.
No.
You do not tell them they can't do something. You just let them do it. And you can always move things around behind the scenes to get them to go in the direction you want them to without having to straight up tell them, nope, stop that, you're going there.
Which is
Everything
which is
can be
more fun.
repurposed to work.
It's more fun when the DM has to trick you into doing something.
Yeah.
Because, nobody likes being told what to do, especially in a game where you can do just about anything as long as you make the rolls,
Uh-huh.
And so I have not played with any DMs that have committed that egregious sin of, you have to do this. I have definitely played some campaigns where it's like, okay, you guys kind of need to do this. So I'm going to let you do whatever you want, but you're going to have to come back to this eventually.
Or what you do is the longer it's put off, the more consequences there are against the party.
exactly.
You can fuck off and do nothing the whole time if you want.
But the enemy just gets stronger.
Yeah.
You get weaker.
You just have to be creative. And I know without experience that can be very difficult, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You just have to be flexible. It's improvisational.
Yeah.
That's something that I've always respected, like DMs that can do that, just have that creativity, have that ability to, like, when you were like, okay, I fully expect my party to go this way, so they go and build this big narrative that goes in this direction, and then the party just goes, nope, we're going that way.
Yeah.
And then the ability to think on your feet and the ability to create something more like or at least have an idea of what you can do with different choices and be able to improv that. It's so impressive. Like my DM now is able to do that all the time. I've talked to him plenty of times where it's like, okay, you weren't expecting us to go that way, were you? And he's like, nope, I made up all of that like on the spot.
I also,
and it's like it's the coolest thing, and it just makes it feel so natural and interesting and fun.
I love DMs that can do that. I also love DMs that have good, like, their riddle games on point.
Yes,
or with good puzzles that are not dumb.
I do enjoy a good puzzle, but the riddle thing is so contrived at this point. Having riddles to answer in your D&D campaign is something that I'm pretty sure is a staple, and
is a staple.
I'm tired of it.
Well, in most campaigns that I've done with riddles, there's been one.
Okay.
Just one. And it was a kind of nice break in the pace, because usually we'll come across a riddle in like a dungeon or something like that. And so the remainder of the session will be, okay, let's solve the riddle collaboratively. And there's been one particular instance in which the answer was 5.
it wasn't
That
42.
drove us crazy for one night. And like, we were so mad when we found out the answer was just 5. Because like, and I'll see if I can get the actual riddle from him again. It's been such a long time, but that was just one of those things where we'll casually, if we get a riddle,
Faux rizzle.
a rizzle or a puddle, and the first
J.
answer
Brooks
we'll
and
throw out as 5, just because. Is it 5? Okay, no, good, all right. Good. But it's fun as a player to grow alongside a DM as well, because like, any DM that acts like they have nothing to learn is
wrong.
gonna be static, and your campaigns are just gonna be boring and contrived.
So much of being able to properly DM in a way that entertains people is planning is great. It's very important, but improvisational skill is king.
Oh, it's awesome. The other guy that I play, the ninja campaign I'm
Nerd.
playing. Yeah. He's had the same base world since high school. He's a couple years older than I am. Has this map, and the binder protector, and it's just so intricate and drawn and stuff like that.
Trapper keeper.
Yeah, but he keeps adding to it, and it's really cool because like I've played.
He keeps adding more Lisa Frank stickers.
No, he actually had a cardboard DM shield that he made for a while ago, and then he said keeps players out, keeps traps in, and keeps the wife away. And then when he got divorced, it was ex-wife. But then he just made a new one because he got like a wood burning kit for like Christmas, I think. So he made this cool like wood DM shield that has a bunch of dorky D&D stuff on there, and but he's been adding to this world we've been playing in, and I've played several campaigns with him, and he will reuse his campaigns sometimes depending on which group. Like the new guys that I'm playing with now, they first ran through a campaign that I was very familiar with, and so I would occasionally pop in as a bard sometimes, but I was not doing anything to advance the story because I knew all the turns, so I wasn't going to be a dick and ruin the surprise for everyone, because I remember finding out all the stuff that I did when I did, and I was just like, what? And now it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I can see the setup. But it's really fun getting to play the same campaign sometimes because you get to do different stuff.
Sure.
So
That's the bringing back a character who knows things is really funny to me. There was, I wasn't part of this, but I've heard my friends did a Halloween event. They always take breaks from their campaigns.
I love those.
And they do seasonal themed events.
we always do like a
Like
Christmas
WoW
one.
does, and like all the MMOs and shit like that.
Except
kind of
good.
Yeah, except these are great.
And my brother got to play the character who was in the dream world as like a guide who's serving people through this vampire mansion and everything. He's been there all the time. He knows everything. Here's the kicker. He can only communicate using a slide whistle, and if you try and read his mind, it just plays carnival music. Yeah.
There we go.
And that was the whole thing. Like, he knew, because he's a man who lives trapped in this dream world, and he guides all of these people through the mansion because it's just his purpose that he does over and over. And
he
he's,
must be this tall to enter the haunted mansion.
he's lost his mind, right? So that's just how it goes. And he tries to help people, like that. He points out traps by just like blowing his slide whistle, and nobody knew what was going on. That is the best way to do it. You have a character who has all the answers, but can only communicate them to you through very
It's
obtuse manners.
And I
love that.
I feel like I have brought this up on a previous podcast, but there's a character in Boogie Pop Phantom, the anime Boogie Pop Phantom.
Excuse
who
you.
has all of the knowledge, that exists, but is unable to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
We did bring
I
I-
love those kinds
I like
things.
the burden of knowledge that has consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing. So for Christmas this last year, we ended up fighting Santa Claus, but this particular Santa Claus was like a fallen paladin, and so we kicked the shit out of this guy. It was awesome.
So
but,
needless to say, you're on the naughty list, man.
no, there is no list. So the way it worked was because I missed him my first couple of rounds just because of bad rolls or whatever.
Because you couldn't bring
And he
yourself to hurt
would never
Santa.
strike at me, and it would also put the DM in an interesting predicament because I'm the only neutral player right now, and so I'm not on any list. And that's what he was basing it on. He's like, okay, you're gonna get attacked if you struck Santa Claus, and if you're supposed to be good or bad. And so I got to ride this line. But when we defeated him, we got a hat because Brendan always throws in some fun little like seasonal stocking stuffer type things for your campaign. So there was the hat the hat that detects naughty from nice instead of good and evil.
Hell yeah. Love it.
awesome.
And I got his gloves that like beef my unarmed strike, but also do damage based on alignment, which is awesome. And just like fun little things like that. One year we had Tiny Tim's crutch, which added a +5 to charisma.
Okay, that
Oh
just
my
brings
God.
up, that just brings up a whole lot of questions. Like, did you steal Tiny Tim's crutch?
That's unimportant.
So there's this hobbled kids out there in your D&D world that's just like
Or
crawling.
the kid's
I can't-
just dead.
By the-
that too. Either way.
Adventurers are terrible people. This is a universal truth.
this
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I mean,
anyone-
Regardless of your alignment.
Yes.
adventurers are only a good legal system away from being locked in jail
I picked
forever.
the You're lawful good. Oh no.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You travel with a party full of idiots, you die like one.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up something today, which is actually really kind of cool that this D&D thing came up.
not
So
going to
have
your
you ever
Briz.
played Elite Dangerous or know what Elite
I have
Dangerous
I know
played
of it.
a bit of Elite Dangerous.
I don't know what it is.
Speaking of, it's like a space sim kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, you know, I've probably
like,
seen
it
that
was
around.
a big it was a big Kickstarter campaign.
Oh,
that like
oh.
just never got done, but
Yeah.
then got done, but it was not quite, what people were expecting. And
I remember
there's been
reading something about- or
such
watching
a
something about
big
this.
mix of interesting things. I bought it specifically because it supports Oculus,
It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
and I love flying spaceships
Me
in
too.
VR.
But the reason I bring it up is because there's right now. I saw this on actually on Polygon. They're doing somebody's running like a full like campaign, like a role playing campaign that has, according to this, 9,400 participants
Holy
in this
God.
world, and it's a blend of in-game playing and a role play, like with they're using what's the online Roll20, and like they're actually doing role play, like voice acting and all this stuff, and it like this one person's like controlling the whole thing. She's like a
The puppet master.
she's a security
one
guard.
DM,
There's
or-
this, there's like one DM and then a few other people that help and are like really into it. Like there's this core group that's like 400 people where it's like this big storyline that's going to be going through this, and then 9,400 people where like there's different things that happen. Like some people are like they're in the fighting force and they're going around, and there's like controlled skirmishes. Then there's people that like fly like cargo ships that they have to be protected by the people who are in the fighter.
Oh, okay.
crowd.
I
And, like,
gotcha.
but then there's there's
So this is kind of some EVE Online
It's
stuff
EVE Online
with more structure.
with more structure and with like actual being able to fly and like a really big action universe that Elite Dangerous has. And it like you have to read the whole thing, but it's so interesting sounding. Like it's literally linked together by a traditional tabletop RPG.
I like the idea of that. Because,
yeah.
Like, so I'm always on the lookout, and I've never ventured outside of D&D. I mean, Pathfinder doesn't really count these days. It's close enough. But like for a tabletop experience like Dungeons and Dragons that is not Dungeons and Dragons, and like World of Darkness looked okay, and like Shadowrun just come up a bunch, and
There's
other things like that, like GURPS.
There's
and-
one that I really want to go back into, and that was True 20 Cthulhu.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, because I really well, first off, I enjoy being in a Cthulhu, universe.
You Lovecraft it.
Get out!
You know, I'm gonna make my own tabletop game called Pizza and Podcasts, and you're not invited to play.
Push you over and steal your pizza, nerd.
But and then it's
a
the True 20
podcast.
system, which is crazy simple. Everything's a D20 roll.
Yeah.
But it's just a very fun. The Cthulhu universe is just very fun to be in.
I like
Cthulhu.
And having sanity be a mechanic is one of my
I like the
favorite things.
rules. So I was I have a friend of mine that I watch movies with a lot, and she likes horror movies, but not the same taste as I do. She's more of a slasher thriller kind of person, and I'm more of a concepts kind of guy. But she'd never gotten into any of the Lovecraft stuff because like we made her watch The Void, which is an alright movie.
Sure.
But we were, as the movie was going, we were explaining the rules because horror universes are defined by the guideline set. Like,
Sure.
it's scary because of X, Y, and Z, and these are the things that you can and can't do. And then later getting into tropes, like these are the things that people usually do and stuff like that. So getting to hit all those beats and stuff like that was fun, explaining to someone that didn't know it. Because everyone I know and their mom knows all about Lovecraft stuff, even minimally. Like Cthulhu,
to some varying degree.
yeah, like we all know the octopus guy with wings and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Some folks know who Dagon is, and some folks know the color from space and stuff like that. But I would really love to play. Like I've looked into that before, but
That
the problem
would
with
be really cool to play.
problem with that is I don't want to play with strangers.
What's
so.
cool is there's a version
Don't
of
talk
that.
to strangers.
There's a version of that uses a Jenga tower. So instead of doing a sanity check, you have to pull from the Jenga tower.
That is a cool mechanic.
So once the tower falls, you're insane.
Does
or
everyone
something
have
like
their
that.
own
Like,
Jenga tower?
I don't think so.
Or is it
Jenga
just
tires?
Jenga tires?
I can't remember specifically how it works. I just remember that Jenga, is a part of that, and that is
When are we gonna get that shitty board game to movie adaptation for Jenga?
yeah.
We got
we got
Battleship.
Battleship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Battleship. This season, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
it's got to have the rock in it. Yeah.
Connect 4. hungry hippos.
And it just the
game of life.
It cuts to Dwayne the Rock Johnson going, "Pretty sneaky, sis."
And then we can have expand the Hasbro cinematic universe, and like have Blumhouse do the Operation movie. So you just like the guy's like wakes up on a
Operation's
table.
actually a slasher.
He
horror
wakes up on a
movie.
table with a light bulb taped to his nose, and he's just stretched out. And there's a bunch of drunk people.
Operation with Jigsaw.
Yes. I want to play a game. Operation.
Oh my god.
And then you have the sequel, Operation Ivy.
Oh my god, Brooks.
Go home.
You've got a problem.
I do. And
You're
it's not enough
quickly
camo.
making it our problem.
Quickly making. I think it's been our problem for the past how many weeks?
18 weeks
18?
now.
Yeah.
18 weeks.
18 weeks.
Yep.
Are you going to send progress reports home to our parents now?
Really, all you need to do in order to create a horrifying environment for Tyler, actually any of us, just flip the glasses upside down.
Don't do it. I don't like it.
I suppose it's that time.
Oh, Tyler, you would have hated my friends when we came up with the Clown Raptor thing.
Oh, did you just ice me?
Yes, I did, sir. Yes, I did.
Why did you bring those?
I can't believe I just got ice.
Did you bring more?
I'm not
Apparently
gonna
he
lie.
came
I was
prepared.
waiting. I was waiting for the moment where he turned those glasses upside down, and that's what you get
Take a
when
knee.
you let your heart
yeah.
win.
I have to chug a Smirnoff Ice on
you
camera.
bring more?
It's
I
the
did not.
rules.
Chug it.
See, I haven't thought of icing
Sorry,
since
Mom.
college.
Right.
Take it like a champ. Oh, that looked delicious. Take a bow.
Or puke.
That was satisfying.
Can't believe I got ice.
So the best thing that I've only been at one party where I've iced people because I was late into the game on that, but I got my brother so good. I went to his bathroom at his house because like we were having a birthday party for one of his roommates that I'm friends with, and somebody brought a bunch of Smirnoff Ice, and so naturally we were gonna ice everyone, and there's a bunch of kids. When I say kids, I mean like 23-year-olds. And so
Wait, cover your ass there.
I dismantled his toilet like the inner workings of his toilet and hid an ice in there. Then I
So
found-
like you made it so it wouldn't flush.
Yeah,
so
it
you'd
wouldn't
have
flush.
to look in there.
yeah.
That's how you do it.
So I did that, and then I removed the toilet paper from the roll and put a Smirnoff Ice and the toilet paper underneath the sink. Then I put one.
Oh no, this has layers.
in-
This is
Oh my
great.
god.
Then I put one in his toolbox, and we put one. I put one in the trash bags because I noticed the trash can was getting full,
Yeah.
and just bam, 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 just got him.
Oh
and it was the
my
most
God.
You just hear,
satisfying. Yeah. I heard quite a few of those. It's very satisfying. Ice your brothers. Ice your sisters.
Wow.
it is hilarious. Even when it happens to me, it's
Ice
funny.
your daughters, ice your wife.
I think the last person I ever expected to get iced by in my life is Tyler. You got me.
Well, he is wearing Yamcha on his shirt.
I must say I can't take full credit for that one. That was thank you, Jasmine. For
I knew it. I talked to her about this recently, and she betrayed me. She betrayed me.
So time to go on your weird betrayal rant. You break your keyboard and try to shove a remote up your butt.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Well,
So
You know
we
what?
are.
I have to say real quick. I saw that 6-pack in this house last week.
Did you
And
really?
I thought I was getting iced last week. So great misdirect on that one because after I got through last week, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not getting iced. And then I got iced.
and then I got iced. And then I got iced.
Revenge is
And then I got
revenge is a
iced.
dish best served cold.
Icy, you might say.
Ice cold.
The refreshing,
Oh,
crisp
man.
taste of Smirnoff Ice.
Oh my god.
Not sponsored in any part by us.
No, certainly not.
But I'm always
we them.
waiting.
Dan does hate himself enough to accept a sponsorship from Smirnoff Ice.
You know, if
As long as
Smirnoff
they
Ice
give
is
us
gonna pay
cool
me to-
affliction-style shirts that say Smirnoff Ice on them.
oh please, I'll wear that for free. Not
So
really.
we are getting to the end of the podcast here. Fairly close, I think. I don't know. I'm bad at keeping track of time. I can't remember when we started.
Where's the box?
There is no beginning, there is only an end.
the shame box.
What's in the box?
It's over there.
So does anyone have any... I'm changing it for 2019. It's no longer just rants. It's going to be rants or raves. If there's something that, made you... Because I don't want to just, dwell on the negative.
I'm not a rave kid.
I want to give equal opportunity to both complain and scream to the heavens about how amazing something is. So anyone have anything that fits those things this week?
I mean, the Giorgio Moroder version of Metropolis that I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
As you could hear from my car pulling up, that is an awesome thing that you guys should check out. Especially, I mean, Metropolis has been weirdly relevant for a long time, even though it was made in the 20s. And it's a silent film, but don't let that deter you because the soundtrack rules. You have Giorgio Moroder on the soundtrack. You have Freddie Mercury. You have Pat Benatar,
wow.
Bonnie Tyler. You have Billy Squier even.
What? Okay, I
Oh,
need
shit.
to see this.
Yeah, it is something to behold, and they colorize the plates and stuff like that. So it has a very weird quality surrounding it. But I definitely recommend you check it out. And that's my screaming at the heavens.
Right on.
Yeah.
I have something very small. You were talking about tabletop games you were maybe interested in and said
Yes.
World of Darkness looked okay. It's great. It's the best.
Are you still running World of Darkness campaign? Or?
More like World of Darkness, right?
Tentatively, the scheduling has fallen through as it always does, but it's still out there.
I have one of the books somewhere in my house. I have the Wek the Werewolf one, I think.
You should really look into Chronicles of Darkness. It's the newer version with all of the, a lot of them are second edition by this point, and they are awesome. It has a more modern twist to it. The modern twist, I think you would enjoy a lot more, and that's what makes Chronicles of Darkness
I would dig that.
awesome.
I would probably dig that.
Yeah.
I just want a World of Darkness Shadowrun crossover.
No, not necessary. But yeah, I could scream to the heavens any day about World of Darkness, or I guess now it's Chronicles of Darkness because there's Old World and Chronicles. Stupid. play it. If you like tabletop RPGs that have a New World twist and are also turning a lot of superstitions on their head, it's awesome. I have no complaints. You can mesh all of the different supernatural books together into one campaign, or they're good enough that you can play them all standalone. So you could play a game of just werewolves or vampires or mages, or you could throw them all into the pot and see what happens. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will give a more earnest endeavor into it.
I am looking forward to the scheduling getting worked out so we can get rolling on that.
We'll fix it. We'll figure it out.
He said rolling because he used dice.
Keep rolling.
No!
Rolling. How about you, Tyler? You got anything?
Mine's more of a somber note,
Okay.
if you don't mind. I just want to. So, made worse by that.
Worse or better?
I just kind of wanted to give a shout out to one of my close childhood friends who sadly passed away this past week, Phil
I'm sorry to
Mitchell.
hear that.
And the whole Mitchell family. I know they're going through a really difficult time right now. They probably will never listen to this, but honestly, it's been something weighing on me a lot this week. So I just, I'm gonna miss you, brother. And yeah, sorry to end this on a sad note, but.
No, it's fine, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end it on a conspiracy theory note. So I'll pick us right
Good.
back up.
Gilligan's Island?
Love you and miss you, brother.
Yeah. Rest in peace. It's never easy to lose longtime friends. So, on the completely opposite end of the spectrum, there, I watched the movie Waiting last night, and I've seen it a million times before. Ryan Reynolds, Justin Long, Anna Faris. A bunch of-
Hilarious.
That's
Yeah.
one of those movies that I've always kind of scrolled by but never actually watched.
It's a lot of
It's
fun. It
really-
takes place in the restaurant Shenanigans, one with all the crazy shit on the walls.
Okay, you mean my house?
Yes.
They actually filmed it in your house, Brooks.
Luis Guzman, unfortunately Dane Cook is in it, but the rest of the cast is David Koechner. It's a really fun mix of people, and it came out in 2004. It came out on video 2005, but it says copyright 2004 in the credits, so I assume that it saw theater release in 2004. Anna Faris and Chris Pratt met on the set of another movie in 2007. Jasmine and I had to look this up because the character that David Koechner plays in Waiting, they zoom in on his community college degree, and his name is Daniel Christopher Pratt. Anna Faris is in this movie. Chris Pratt's name is in this movie. Anna Faris and Chris Pratt don't meet for another several years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Their romance was engineered by the Illuminati controlled by Hollywood.
Illuminati confirmed.
I'm Poppy.
I just thought it was really weird.
Really weird.
That,
I believe the Gilligan's Island communist thing more than...
well, yeah, but that has the benefit of having the creator of Gilligan's Island saying, yeah, no, that's
that is-
exactly what I
To
was
be
doing.
fair,
That is
though,
kinda
J.K.
cool,
Rowling's
though.
been saying a lot of shit about Harry Potter recently that I don't necessarily believe. So
She's just bored.
have you...
Oh, yeah,
So you guys just kind of
poop their pants all the
figured
time.
this out?
Well, we were watching Waiting last night, and they do this zoom on the community college degree, and I'm like, wait, hold on, 1 second, what the fuck? And I rewind it and I pause, and it says Daniel Christopher Pratt, and I'm like, what the fuck? Anna Faris is in this movie. I wonder when did they start dating? And so Jasmine looks up and she's like, well, they got married in 2009. Maybe they were dating for a long period of time before that. Well, okay, yeah, maybe. Then she looks it up. It's like, nope. Says they met on set of this movie in 2007. I can't remember what movie it was, but so yeah, Anna Faris in a movie. Says Christopher Pratt
Dun,
on the thing.
dun, dun.
Yeah, just one of those really weird coincidences.
He was just stalking her for a couple years.
Yeah, right.
just leaving his name in weird places.
That's I like that.
She was being primed.
We're gonna have to talk more about that next time because I'm gonna jump into that conspiracy theory feet first and see what I can find. I love weird, pointless, and dumb, not dumb, but like benign, like conspiracies about movies. You know, like
We couldn't find anything online about this. Like, there's no one else has noticed this. No one else has made, or at least anyone who has not made any mention of it. And it just seems like one of those things that someone would have caught and either constructed an elaborate, unnecessary conspiracy around,
as we're doing right now,
right? Or just said, "Hey, look at this! This is kind of neat." I fit somewhere neatly between the two of those reactions.
You should make your own conspiracy theory.
You should start like before you do the conspiracy video, just like start putting like little things here and there, like submitting them to different message boards.
Yeah, right.
And then you come but under different usernames.
Yeah.
Then you do the video and
respond
you
to your own comments.
She was being Darren Browned by Christian Hollywood because Chris Pratt is very Christian. To prepare her for once she met, it would be as though they've known each other for forever.
Well, that's also something that Anna Faris is actually Anna Faris and not a replicant that replaced Anna Faris in her career on the set of that movie.
Excuse me, she's actually a lizard person. Okay,
they can be both.
Yeah.
Lizard person replicant.
True.
That is like
Layers upon layers of truth. Bye.
All right, let's wrap this up. We don't have any voicemail this week, but if you would like to leave us a voicemail, you can do so by calling 805-222-6287. And remember, we have a partnership with Humble Bundle. You can always go to toplessrobot.com/humble, and any purchases that you make help out the podcast and help us
so
have
buy
a
some
budget.
stuff.
So buy stuff, and you get awesome games at really good prices, and we get a share of that, and it's awesome all around. So,
yes.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
bye-bye. Adios.
My establishment, I'm taking off today and breathe. Sometimes you have to sit if you want to make a stand. Hate the shit, taking liberties. Taking liberties.
Luke, it says I'm locked out of my account again.
Subscribe.